So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. What if Naruto was pervy student of Yokai Academy? Movie 1. A young man around the age of 17. He was 510 and lean, well-muscled. He had shoulder-length blonde hair and ocean blue eyes that sparkled with life. He was tan and very strange whisker-like markings on each of his face cheeks. He was not shy about flashing his pearly whites. He was the monster of a village and had to go away for a while after he became a ninja. Recently he has become a hero of a destroyed village, which is in reconstruction. His skills are very well known across the elemental countries, but that is only one reason why our dear adolescent is in this predicament. You see, after he came back from his training trip with Uraya-sama, his name spread quickly throughout the world. After he defeated Pain, the leader of Akatsuki, he became a little bit too known for his abilities, his amazing abilities. 1. The Yondaime Hokage aka Namikaze Minato only matches his speed. His strength is unmatchable. His looks are incomparable. His mind levels are off the charts. His name is the one, the only. Uzumaki Naruto-sama. Naruto smirked to himself as he stepped off the bus that led him to this dump. After he defeated the leader of Akatsuki, the now destroyed village of Konohagakure, no Sato had decided to appoint a new Hokage, as Tsunade-sama was in a coma from the battle. The new Hokage was Danzo, a man who would do whatever it takes to keep Konoha safe. He originally thought that Naruto-sama was a threat to Konoha, but after many years of dedicated and loyal service, Naruto-sama proved that he was indeed a good shinobi of Leaf. However, Danzo still did not quite believe that, but after Naruto-sama defeated Pain, he couldn't just kill Naruto. For the majority of Konoha had fell in love with the boy and had proclaimed him as their hero. Therefore, Danzo had to do something to get rid of that annoyance, and that led to a thought by Danzo. A thought that would kill two birds with one stone. Create an alliance with a group of beings who were strong and very loyal, and get rid of Uzumaki Naruto. Sending this young genius away to a low-class private school called Yokai Academy. Though, Naruto wasn't happy about this at all. Not only did his self-proclaimed enemy separate him from his precious people in a desperate time, he even forced him to go alone. Naruto sighed and frowned just thinking about his life so far. Danzo was definitely not one of his favorite people that he had met. Nevertheless, what can you do? Shit happens. Moreover, people get over it, that the way life goes. Naruto shrugged. The bus pulled up to a sign by the side of a cliff with an ocean beneath the cliff. An ocean of red water. Naruto got off the bus and looked around. A scarecrow with a pumpkin for a head was standing next to a creepy-looking tree that was dead. The dirt road even felt creepy. Everything about this place was creepy. Naruto turned around when the creepy bus driver said, "Welcome to your new school. Son. You take care now hee." Naruto blinked, then grinned. Hee, don't worry Oji-san, I'm always careful. Naruto pointed at his chest when he said this. Then a lightning bolt struck behind the supposedly school, and Naruto nervously looked at it. The bus driver looked at him and chuckled, closed the bus doors and left, but said to himself as he was doing this, "I hope you're boy, because you need to be here in this school." Naruto watched him leave and couldn't help but feel slightly lonely. He turned to the direction of the school and sighed, really now, me being careful. What type of bullshit is that? Naruto said to himself as he dreaded staying here. Naruto shouldered his belongings and shrugged, guess I can't just stand here all day, gotta do this no matter what. Thus, Naruto headed off towards the direction of the school. Naruto then smelled a female scent, but it wasn't a human scent. He then heard something coming towards him fast and then a shout. Hey. Look out. Naruto turned around and saw a girl on a bicycle coming toward him, out of the way. She yelled, but she was too close and the tire rammed straight into Naruto's face. Gah. Naruto managed to cough out while he was skidding away. Naruto sat up, holding his head, "Owie. That hurt, you douchebag watch where you're going." Naruto stopped talking when he saw who ran into him. He blinked and raised an eyebrow, a girl. She slowly got up and put a hand on her head. Naruto crawled over to her. Hey Ni-chan. Are you alright? Naruto asked with concern. She didn't look at him, but muttered under her breath, "Oh I'm sorry I am anemic, I get a little dizzy sometimes. Are you okay?" Naruto finally noticed how beautiful she was. She had bubblegum pink hair and beautiful green eyes. Naruto's sweat dropped, what is it with the pink-haired girls, huh? Naruto shook his head, yeah I'm okay, what about you? She looked up at him and saw that Naruto had a cut on his forehead and it was bleeding. She looked concerned for a minute. Oh. You're bleeding. She leaned in with a napkin of some kind in her hand as Naruto felt his forehead and chuckled, "Oh it's nothing really, I don't even feel it." She didn't take her eyes off it as she handed him the napkin, Here. Suddenly she got a faraway look in her eyes as she stared at the blood. Naruto cocked his head in confusion. "Your blood, I can't smell it." Naruto blinked and was about to say something when she collapsed in his arms. She breathed heavily. Oh and no, it's happening again. Naruto blushed and flinched, making a high-pitched squeaking noise. In his head Naruto thought, what the hell is going on? The pink-haired beauty leaned in very close to him and Naruto couldn't take his eyes off her eyes. He heard her whisper, I'm sorry but you see. And in a blink of an eye, she was biting his neck and whatever she was doing, it sure did feel strange, but Naruto managed to catch the last part of her sentence. I'm a vampire. While the girl was still obviously sucking Naruto's blood, he decided to take a more normal approach to the situation. A vampire. When she let go, Naruto scooted away from her in a rush and was holding his neck, giving her the weirdest and most scared expression ever. Nani, why you just sucked my blood? The girl truly looked apologetic as she put her hand to her chest. Oh. I'm so sorry. My name is Akashi Yamoka. I would never dream of doing anything like that if I weren't. Naruto cut her off, a vampire like afraid of crosses and garlic. That kind of vampire. The girl, now known as Mocha, had hearts in her eyes. And I have to say, you have really delicious blood. She sighed dreamily. Naruto blinked and grinned, do I? Well I guess you know since. Naruto stopped what he was saying and shook his head, get a hold of yourself Uzumaki. She just sucked your blood. Okay, let's look at the situation. His thoughts were interrupted by Mocha, who looked very nervous for some reason, so do you not like vampires? Naruto looked at her from the corner of his eye and grinned at her confidently. Well of course I don't hate vampires. I don't even know one until now, so why would I judge so quickly? Mocha smiled happily while getting right up next to him as they helped each other up. Oh, I'm so glad. Then we can be friends, right? I was worried because I'm new here. Naruto smiled and shook his head, thinking, with your beauty it won't take long for you to actually make friends. Naruto put his hand out for her to shake. Of course we can be friends, Mocha-chan. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. Mocha looked really happy, almost as happy as Naruto when Iruka told him that he thought of him as a little brother. Mocha shook Naruto's hand, blushing from Naruto's name for her. Nice to meet you Naruto. Let's talk again after the commencement ceremony. Naruto nodded and as Mocha left Naruto watched her leave. Just as Naruto was about to pick up his bags and leave, Naruto heard the bus again. He turned around and saw the creepy bus driver waving at him as another boy got off the bus. There was nothing special about him. Wearing the school's uniform already. A deep brown, black hair color. Brown eyes. About 57. Not the muscular but defiantly not fat. The boy looked kinda scared after, once again a lightning bolt struck behind the school. Naruto looked at him sympathetically. Naruto waved at him and the boy looked at him strangely. And Naruto called, "Uwee." Aono Tsukyun got off the bus and looked around nervously. The bus driver said something creepy and scary to him and left, leaving Tsukyun all alone. At least he thought he was. Another boy, around his age, waved at him. He had shoulder-long, wild blonde hair with the brightest bluest eyes Tsukyun has ever seen. He was a little taller than he was and was athletic looking. The boy was tan and had 3 strange whiskers like markings on each facial cheek. He had on a pair of dark blue jeans on, a white button-up shirt with a school tie, tied loosely around his neck. The green jacket you were supposed to wear was on the ground. He had his t-shirt sleeves rolled up to his elbows and on his right wrist were many different bracelets of different colors and styles. The boy walked over to him. Tsukyun nervously smiled at him, "Aheo." The other boy smiled warmly at him, "Aheo, are you new here?" Tsukyun nodded shyly. The boy's smile widened, showing perfectly straight and sparkling white teeth. They looked different than most teeth though, almost like were sharpened. Or just naturally more pointy. Tsukyun held out his hand for the other boy to shake. The other boy took his hand and shook firmly. "The name's Uzumaki Naruto, you?" Tsukyun smiled, "Aono Tsukyun. Nice to meet you, Naruto-san." Naruto laughed, pleased Tsukyun. "Just call me Naruto or whatever. Just not dope, got it?" Tsukyun smiled and nodded. He looked around, so, this is the school. It's kinda scary. Naruto nodded, looking around too. "Yeah, I thought so too about 10 minutes ago, but then I met this girl, her name is Mocha. She's interesting, but really cool and is very different from you or me. For some reason I have a feeling that this isn't going to be a normal school. Want to walk to the school together Tsukyun?" Tsukyun smiled, "Hi, Naruto-kun. 1111111111111111111. Tsukyun and Naruto soon found out that they had the same homeroom class together. This was awesome in Naruto's eyes. Tsukyun was just relieved he knew someone in his class. They sat down in the back right of the room. An empty seat was open behind Naruto and Tsukyun sat in front of Naruto. Then a teacher walked in. Naruto raised his eyebrows. The teacher was pretty hot. She had on a brown skirt that ended about mid-thigh. And orange shirt and a white jacket to go over it. Her dirty blonde hair was shoulder length and had 2 bands that looked almost like cat ears. Her eyes were squinting even though she had on glasses. She walked to the front of the class and started her announcement. "Welcome, everyone, to YOKAI Academy. I'll be your homeroom teacher, Ms. Shizuka Nekonom." Naruto raised an eyebrow. You'd think she'd be married with those looks, but I guess not. She started again, as I'm sure you all know YOKAI is a school for monsters. Naruto nodded thoughtfully, then like glass breaking his eyes widened and his mouth dropped. A school for monsters. He looked at Tsukyun and thought, is Tsukyun a monster? No, he can't be, he doesn't smell like one at all. His Nekonim continued, now. Like it or not, human beings run the world. For us monsters to survive we must learn to coexist peacefully with them. And that's the mission of the academy. Living peacefully in a human world. Tsukyun and Naruto were both kinda freaking out. Naruto, in a more controlled manner. What the hell? They all look like humans, but defiantly don't smell like one. What's going on? Naruto tried to look bored as he stared at the wall in front of him. Tsukyun on the other hand. Monsters, what she saying, what's the joke? Ms. Nekonim again continued on, which brings up rule number 1. You will retain your human appearance. Does everyone understand? The first key to survival among humans is to be able to disguise yourself as one of them. To practice the art of disguise, please don't reveal your true nature even to your fellow students. But mom. Naruto looked over at the student who spoke, along with the majority of the class, except for Tsukyun who was still freaking out. The boy had messy platinum blonde hair and a mean-looking face. He had a lip piercing in. Overall Naruto didn't him already, just had one of those feelings. The boy continued on, can't we just eat all the humans? I could start with the cute girls. Naruto's eyes widened and he turned to the cocky bastard with a hell of a lot of anger in his eyes. Tsukyun once again however. No. What have I gotten myself into? He thought back to the bus driver and gulped. His Nekonim looked at him in interest and smiled, silly. But don't worry about running into any humans here. All the faculty and staff are monsters just like you. And since the academy is located inside the secret borderlands, no human has ever even seen it. At least not seen it and lived. Naruto flinched and looked down at his desk, shit. But why was I invited here by the headmaster if I'm a human and not welcome? I don't understand. Am I the only human here? What about Tsukyun? Naruto looked at Tsukyun and saw that he was sweating and obviously fearing for his life, and for good reason too. Naruto could feel cold sweat form on his head. He didn't like this one bit. Naruto and Tsukyun's thoughts were broken by the door to the classroom opening. Oh. I'm sorry. I got lost in the halls after the ceremony and sorry I'm late. Ms. Nekonim smiled at her, it's alright. Just take any empty seat. What a polite girl. Naruto looked up and let his jaw relax. It was Mocha-chan. Mocha looked like she was glowing. Naruto could hear all the boys saying stuff about her. And he didn't like it one bit. Who is that silky hair? Those huge eyes. So pretty it can't be a disguise, she's just too beautiful. My entire life is suddenly worthwhile. Naruto smiled at her and waved, aheo, Mocha-chan. Tsukyun looked at Naruto with a look in his eyes that said it all, this is Akashiya Mocha. She's the one Naruto-kun was talking about. Mocha looked over at whoever said her name and saw Naruto. She smiled with glee and clumped him in the middle of class while squealing, it's you, Naruto. Oh, I'm so happy we're in the same class. Naruto chuckled nervously while he tried to pry Mocha off him. Many guys weren't happy about this though. Hey. Wo's he? How does he know her? How can we even rate? The dickhead from before looked at Mocha with a thoughtful look, and licked his lips. 11,111,111,111,111,111. The bell rang and before Naruto could tell what happened he was dragged out the door, but before he was pulled away, he managed to get a hold of Tsukyun. Naruto smiled as he looked down at Mocha who was clinging to his arm. Tsukyun was walking next to him staring at Mocha the whole time. Mocha was going on and on about the silliest things ever. Naruto just laughed and agreed to whatever she was saying, then Naruto felt someone nudge his side and Tsukyun was looking at him with an agitated look. Naruto blinked. Oh, Gomen Tsukyun, I forgot he. Hoi, Mocha-chan. Mocha turned to him with a happy smile on her face. Naruto stopped walking and turned towards Tsukyun, this is Aono Tsukyun, has a friend of mine. Tsukyun, this is Akashiya Mocha. Mocha shook hands with Tsukyun and then looked at Naruto thoughtfully. Naruto stared lazily down at her, what is it? Mocha fidgeted, if Tsukyun is a friend of Naruto, does that make Tsukyun my friend? Tsukyun blinked in surprise and smiled while scratching his cheek. Naruto laughed and scratched the back of his neck nervously. Naruto nudged Tsukyun in the side so he would say something. Tsukyun jumped and looked at Naruto, who smiled and indicated to him to say something. Tsukyun looked at her and laughed, of course Mocha. We're friends. Mocha looked up, smiled happily, and hugged both Naruto and Tsukyun. Yay. She said, 2 friends in one day. Naruto smiled and said, yeah. Just then Naruto heard a voice, they're right you know. Naruto turned around, along with Tsukyun and Mocha. The guy in Ms. Nekonim's classroom was standing there in front of them. The one who asked why he just cold-teeth the humans. Naruto narrowed his eyes with suspicion. He continued to speak, "You're cute. Mocha isn't it? My name's Kamiya Saizo. Remember it." Naruto snorted, "You aren't worth my time to remember your name." Saizo ignored him and picked up Tsukyun by the shirt with one hand. Probably because he was closer to Mocha than Naruto was, but it doesn't matter. Saizo smirked, "What I want to know is what's a girl like you doing with trash like these two?" Tsukyun looked down at Saizo with fear in his eyes. "This is the guy who..." Naruto stepped between Saizo and Mocha, a hand on the hand that has Tsukyun in the air. "You better put Tsukyun down, team." Saizo raised an eyebrow. "Oh, and I suppose you think you are the one who is going to make me?" Naruto smirked angrily, "Haha. Oh no, you're going to do it because it was me who told you to." Saizo threw Tsukyun down and growled, getting up into Naruto's face. Their height was about even, but Naruto was a bit taller. "You think you're all that, don't you, bitch? Do you really want to mess with me?" Naruto's eyes went slitted for a second, but remained blue. "Oh no, douchebag. I'm just having a friendly conversation, something that you obviously lack in having with people. That and maybe some intellectual power." Saizo was about to retort when he was interrupted by Mocha stepping between them and effectively stopping Naruto from doing anything to Saizo. Mocha turned to Naruto with pleading eyes, "Please, stop it, Naruto. I don't want anything bad to happen the first day of school." Naruto didn't stop glaring at Saizo, but continued to walk away with Mocha connected to his arm again. "Alright, Mocha-chan. For you." The trio turned a corner and stopped. Then Mocha broke the silence, "Woo. That was kinda scary, huh?" She turned to Tsukyun, "Are you alright, Tsukyun?" Tsukyun looked at her and smiled softly, "Oh yeah. I'm fine." But then he got a very embarrassed and nervous expression on his face. "But why are you guys being so friendly to me? I mean, I'm just an average guy one who's never had a real conversation with a girl before." Naruto laughed aloud. Tsukyun thought he was making fun of him, so he looked down at the floor, but what Naruto said made him look at Naruto in a completely new light. Naruto smiled at Tsukyun, "Average? Tsukyun, for some reason I have a feeling it's you and me who aren't the normal ones at this school. Besides, we're friends, aren't we? And I don't leave my friends behind or let anything bad happen to them. I protect my precious people with everything I got. No matter what the situation is. That's my promise of a lifetime, and I always keep my promises." Naruto smiled down at the two of them, giving them his patented foxy smile. Mocha blushed at what he said and smiled dreamily at Naruto, while Tsukyun looked at Naruto, his first true friend, with touched eyes, and then he looked down again. His bangs covering his eyes. Naruto looked at Tsukyun and put his hands on his shoulders. "We're in it together, buddy." All of a sudden Naruto was hugged fiercely by Tsukyun, making them fall out into the hallway. Tsukyun was lying on top of Naruto, bawling into his chest. Naruto looked around embarrassed. "Tsukyun, I know you feel all happy, but do you mind getting off me? It's kind of an embarrassing situation, Tsukyun." Nearby walkers looked at the two males and started whispering to each other, all of them having a disgusted look on their face. One girl looked at Naruto and sighed, whispered loud enough for Naruto to hear what she said, "It's a shame about that blonde guy. I would have really liked to date him. He was so cute to bad Hesuke." Naruto stared. Then looked down at Tsukyun. He twitched his eyebrow and called out after them, "Wait, it's not what it looks like. I just said some nice stuff and Hes just very emotional. Hey, come on, you have to believe me. He tackled me to the ground. Hes molesting me. Come on. I'm not gay. I love girls. Hes just a creepy guy that I don't even know. Oi, seriously. I. 111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111Naruto embarrassed by what he did, kept apologizing to Naruto, who every time Tsukyun apologized to, was hit on the head by Naruto. Well, all throughout the day Naruto kept having some gay guys giving him some very interesting looks, and even some brave ones gave him their room number. Naruto hated that day with a passion. The trio ended up walking to their dorm building. Which they all coincidentally had the same one. Naruto and Mocha ended up being closer than Tsukyun was to anyone really. Tsukyun looked at the building nervously. "They can't really make us spend 3 years in that. Mocha looked at the building like she was in love with it. "It's dreamy. Have you ever seen a building with such personality?" Tsukyun looked at her flabbergasted and as if she were crazy. "Are we looking at the same dump?" Mocha looked at him like he was silly. "Huh. But this place is a monster's dream. By the way, what type of monsters are you guys?" Naruto and Tsukyun was taken back and Naruto thought, "Gotta think of something fast." Tsukyun, however. "She thinks him a monster crap." Tsukyun scratched his cheek. "Oh well. Naruto appeared next to her and gave the too happy attitude. "We aren't supposed to give away our true identity, Mocha-chan." Mocha looked up then smiled softly. "Oh, that's right, Naruto-kun. Thank you for reminding me." Naruto sighed in relief, then noticed the suffix to his name that she added. He blinked but shrugged. They started to walk towards their dorm, but Naruto was studying Mocha. Mocha-chan, you said you were a vampire, right? Sukyun looked at Naruto with a shocked expression. Neither Naruto or Mocha noticed him. Mocha smiled and nodded. Naruto stopped and scratched the back of his head in embarrassment. Well, why is it that you look totally human from every angle? Naruto avoided her eye contact and innocent behavior. Mocha smiled. I may look like a human now, but when I take off this Rosario I get really scary. Naruto looked at Mocha confused. Rosario? Mocha got into teaching mode, with a smile on her face. It's a cross with a bead in the middle. It locks up vampiric powers. I don't like causing trouble anyway, so I'm happy to wear the Rosario and keep my powers in check. Naruto looked at Mocha. She is so serious, cute, and nice. She is different from me. But is she really not human? Naruto's thoughts were interrupted when Mocha got a little too close to Naruto. Sukyun looked at the two with a bewildered expression. Of course, even with her powers locked up, a girl still needs blood. Mocha smiled at Naruto while putting her hand on his chest. Naruto looked at her nervously. Mocha-chan. Mocha then chomped down on Naruto's neck. Gotcha. Sukyun put his arms in front of his face while looking utterly grossed out and flabbergasted. So instead of Naruto doing something, Sukyun decided to do something. Sukyun looked at the letter in his hand. It was a letter of withdrawal. Sukyun sighed depressingly. Naruto, who was walking next to Sukyun, looked over at him. You're still worried about that? Naruto inquired. Sukyun once again sighed. It's a new day. I wrote a letter of withdrawal to the principal but I just can't bring myself to deliver it. I don't want to be separated from you or Mocha. Naruto shrugged. Well, it's okay if you want to leave, but Mocha and I will miss you a lot, You're one of my few friends here. Naruto looked over at Sukyun. But no one is making you stay here. I would understand if you left. Sukyun looked at Naruto. What about you? You're a human too in this school for monsters. Aren't you scared? Naruto looked forward again. Nah. This school is different, I have to admit, but it's basically just like my old village, only with demons and fictional characters' sides. Even if I wanted to leave I could. Why? Sukyun asked. Because, Naruto said, staying at this school is a mission I have to do from my village leader. If I don't do it then I'm considered a traitor. Sukyun looked shocked. Naruto looked at the shorter boy and smiled. I don't really mind though. As long as I have some friends here I should be fine. But I gotta do something quick. I'll see you in a minute. With that Naruto disappeared. Sukyun couldn't help but wonder how Naruto did that if he really was a human. As he walked some more, Sukyun heard a voice. Yo. Wait up, lady killer. Sukyun turned around and was grabbed by his tie by Saizo. Saizo lifted him up and slammed him into the wall right next to the dirt path. The blonde-haired jerk smirked. I hear you and Mocha spent a lot of time together yesterday. Along with that Uzumaki guy. What's your true nature anyway? Sukyun thought desperately in his head, if he finds out I'm human, I'm dead. And nature I am a vampire or something. Sukyun flinched when he said that. Really now vampire? Good idea, no. Saizo looked at him with utter hatred and anger. Without a second's notice Saizo punched the wall right behind Sukyun, making it crumble to the ground because of his power. Saizo dropped Sukyun and with a demonic claw, looked like Saizo was going to squeeze his head until it was crushed. Saizo glared venomously at Sukyun. A vampire is an immortal. Said to be the most powerful monster of them all. You. A vampire, don't make me laugh. Saizo turned around and walked away. Don't let me catch you or Uzumaki near Mocha again. Even if you two speak to her, you're dust. Make sure that blonde punk gets the message. Sukyun watched him leave and started to hyperventilate. Then he felt a hand on his shoulder and jumped 10 feet in the air. Sukyun whirled around to see Naruto standing there with an ice cream cone in his hand. He had another one in his other hand. Naruto gave him a strange look and handed him the ice cream cone. Ice cream? Sukyun looked at the ice cream, sighed and accepted it. Naruto and Sukyun sat down underneath a tree, enjoying their ice cream. Naruto looked over at the destroyed wall. Oh no, why is that wall destroyed? It wasn't like that when I left. Did something happen? Naruto looked over at Sukyun who wasn't eating his ice cream. Naruto-kun Saizo doesn't believe him a monster and he said that if we get near Mocha, he'll turn us both into dust. Naruto blinked and then glared at Sukyun. Saizo did that. Did he hurt you or anything? That bastard. I'll destroy his face next time I see him. No. Naruto-kun, don't you get it? He thinks I'm human and he said he'll kill us both if we get next to Mocha again. Sukyun pleaded. Naruto smiled reassuringly at Sukyun. I'd like to see him try to kill me. Mocha-chan is our friend. And it'll be damned if I don't talk to her again just because some jerk thinks he's better than us. Sukyun's head dropped. I wouldn't be surprised if he was better than us. Naruto took another lick of his ice cream. Besides, no matter what I won't give up on you guys cause we're friends, Sukyun. Sukyun sighed in a hopeless attempt at convincing Naruto to at least think logically. Naruto. Sukyun. Is that you? Naruto and Sukyun turned around and were both tackled to the ground by a very excited Mocha. We better hurry or we'll be late to class. Come on you two. Sukyun gasped, Mocha. He gave her a sad, pathetic look. Mocha then noticed he was carrying his bags. Sukyun. You're carrying your luggage. Sukyun turned away from her. I don't know what to do, Mocha. This school is too scary. I want to go to a human school. Mocha blinked in shock as Naruto licked his ice cream patiently, watching the two's conversation. To a? Mocha stuttered out. She then turned her now angry eyes on Sukyun. No. You can't go to a human school. I hate humans. Naruto licked his ice cream and suddenly dropped it with shock. Sukyun looked at Mocha, appalled. What? Mocha fidgeted with her feet and looked down. I went to middle school with humans and I was so lonely. They all said monsters don't exist except in stories. I felt like a freak. I started to think it might be better if I really didn't exist. I thought it would never be any different that is until I met Naruto. And you too. Now for the first time, I know I'm not really alone. Naruto stared sadly at Mocha, knowing the feeling of being alone all too well. He sighed, he was pretty sure no one knew it better than he did. Naruto imagined the first time Haruka asked him to go to eat ramen together, it was the best feeling in the world. Naruto imagined how he would feel if the next day Haruka said he had to go away because he hated Konoha. It didn't turn out to be a good feeling, and Naruto understood how Mocha felt. Mocha looked at him with pleading eyes, you can't go Sukyun. We'll help you get through this together. Sukyun looked down so that his bangs covered his eyes. What if he gulped, what if I were one of those humans you hate? Would you still stop me? Mocha looked shocked. To the point of not being able to speak, what? She asked quietly. Sukyun closed his eyes, Mocha I am. He steeled his resolve. I'm a human. I got into this school by mistake. I'm different from you, Mocha. Naruto closed his eyes in sadness. So he was a human. No wonder he really was scared. Naruto looked at Mocha's reaction and wasn't surprised to see disbelief. But that's impossible. No human could possibly. Mocha looked at him with fear and a little bit of hatred, but mostly sadness. Sukyun turned away from her, so. Now that you know I'm a human that's how you look at me. Mocha looked surprised. I was right, this isn't the place for me. Mocha grabbed his shoulder trying to stop him, wait. Sukyun is it really true? Sukyun cut her off, you hate humans remember well maybe I don't like monsters, either. With that said Sukyun turned and ran away with his luggage. Mocha tried calling out to him, Sukyun. Naruto watched him leave and felt somewhat sorry. His second day and the perfect first day was ruined by this dispute. Mocha kept her head down as she let some of her tears fall. Naruto felt compelled to stay where he was at, not saying a word. Mocha didn't turn to him, so what are you then? Are you a human too? Naruto didn't answer right away. He closed his eyes and looked down, yeah. Mocha whirled around, facing him. She had tears rolling down her face. Well then why don't you leave too? You probably hate monsters too now after I said that stuff. Naruto watched as she fell to the ground, covering her face with her hands. He walked up to her and knelt in front of her. She looked meekly up at him. Naruto smiled warmly at her, every human kinda has this fear and hatred of monsters, but to me Mocha-chan, you're not just a monster. Mocha looked at him. Naruto used his thumbs to wipe a few tears off her cheeks, Mocha blushed at the contact. To me, Mocha, you're my dearest friend and I won't ever leave you. Mocha sniffled and hugged him, crying softly into his neck. Naruto hugged her back and ran a hand through her hair, making soothing noises. Soon Mocha let go of him and Naruto stared her in the eyes. Mocha, I'll have to leave you for a bit. Please don't get into trouble. I promise you I'll be back and I always keep my promises. Mocha sniffled again and nodded, but she held out her pinky on her hand. Pinky promise? She asked softly. Naruto grinned at her, pinky promise. He entwined his pinky with hers and with that he disappeared. Sukyun looked across the red ocean and at this very strange cliff. He heard the bus pull up and sighed, now I can go back to my totally average life. But is this what I really want? He saw the bus pull up to him. The door opened and the bus driver from before was smoking his cigar again. He looked at Sukyun and smiled, haha I knew you'd run away. Sukyun looked surprised, the driver continued, I could see it in your face. He opened the door to the bus, no regrets boy. The climb aboard. Sukyun looked down and was about to take a step on the bus when a voice stopped him. You sure you really want to do that? Sukyun whipped around and saw Naruto leaning on a tree staring coolly at him. He pushed off the tree and walked at Sukyun. He stopped only when he was in front of Sukyun. Naruto waved at the bus driver. Aheo, Oji-san. The bus driver tipped his hat to Naruto, Aheo, Naruto-kun. Sukyun blinked. Naruto looked back at the shorter boy. We would really miss you if you left Sukyun, remember, I made a promise to always protect you and I always keep my promises. Naruto said seriously. Sukyun hesitated. Mocha walked around thinking about what Naruto and Sukyun said. She sighed and kicked a rock on the ground. I finally make some friends and I pushed them away. She then felt someone grab her wrist and her waist. She heard a slimy voice from behind her. And what brings you here all alone? She turned to the voice and saw shaggy blonde hair and a lip piercing. Saizo. He smacked his lips and grinned insanely. If you're lonely I can take care of that. Mocha broke free of his grip and put some space between the two of them. She screamed, afraid of this monster. Saizo threw off his school jacket and chuckled, I'm serious. Your beauty is on a completely different level from the humans I played with. I want you to be my girl, Akashi Mocha. Saizo's tongue grew and his hand transformed into claws, the veins poking out sickeningly from under his skin. Mocha flinched when she saw his hand, as Saizo. Saizo started transforming into a very grotesque thing. He chuckled darkly, whoops. When I get nervous, my body starts to change. Then I just can't stay in human form. Mocha looked horrified, and no, she said weakly, someone help. She felt the fear well up inside her like gushing water, and she did only what came natural to her. Naruto. Saizo laughed evilly, it's kinda breaking the school rules, but let's make out. Wanna kiss? His tongue was dangling somewhere around his chest while he said this. Then his tongue reached out and was going to rub her cheek, but right before it touched her, a voice called out to her. Mocha-chan. Saizo looked towards the voice and saw the blonde hair punk from before, in midair with some sort of blue sphere thing in his hands. He didn't look happy at all. Saizo grinned and said, Uzumaki. I've waited for this. Mocha shouted to Naruto, be careful Naruto. This is Saizo's true form. Naruto growled, well I've waited to do this. Rasengan. The blue sphere hit Saizo's chest. Saizo wasn't expecting it to hurt so he let it hit him, but what he got instead was a world of pain. Saizo couldn't help but scream as he was hurtled into the air and through a tree. Naruto landed lightly on the ground and turned towards Mocha. Mocha saw Naruto hit Saizo square in the chest with whatever that was. Then after he landed she saw Sukyun running toward her. She smiled and called out to him, Sukyun. You came back. Sukyun grinned, of course, Mocha. After all, we're friends right? Mocha got all teary and nodded her head in enthusiasm. She saw Naruto and grinned at him, but then her eyes widened and she pointed to something behind Naruto. Watch out, Naruto-kun. Naruto whipped around just in time to meet a fist to his face. He flew far back and was stopped roughly by another dead tree. Naruto slid down the tree and sat at the base of the trunk, his face contorted in pain. Mocha and Sukyun shouted to him. The two of them looked back at Saizo with fear. No grin was on Saizo's face anymore, only that of pure hatred. He had a huge purple bleeding spot on his chest. The blood dripped down from it like water from a faucet, the wound itself was smoking. Mocha and Sukyun couldn't take their eyes off him. Saizo roared as he brought his hand back and smoked Sukyun right in the chest with it. Sukyun was sent flying back and rolled. Mocha cried to him and got to his side in a second to see if he was alright. Saizo laughed maliciously, what's the matter little vampire? I've always wanted to test my strength against one of you. Too bad you're just trash. Mocha sat by Tsukyun's side and made sure he was alright. She felt tears well up in her eyes, and no. This is awful. You both came back for me. Mocha felt the tears run down her cheeks. I'm so sorry I used to want to believe that I could really have a human friend. But I'm a vampire. I suck the blood of humans. I hurt them. I wanted to think that the right person and I could overcome that. Mocha looked at Tsukyun's face and then at Naruto who was over by the tree attempting to stand up. A trail of blood flowed down the right side of his face. He was staring at Mocha. She then turned back to Tsukyun. But I guess it's impossible. It'd only end up hurting you both too. Tsukyun moved and coughed, it's true. Mocha cried, Tsukyun. Tsukyun used her shoulder for support, I'm weak and ordinary. But I realized I can't just run away like this and leave you and Naruto-san. Naruto growled when he said his name like that. But let Tsukyun finish, Mocha I want to be your friend. Mocha looked shocked beyond words. She then felt another hand on her other shoulder and turned to see Naruto, grinning foxily at her. I also wish to stay your friend Mocha-chan. Saizo reared back his fist and yelled angrily at Naruto and Tsukyun, are you deaf? I told you both stay away from her. Mocha and Tsukyun both watched in horror as his fist came closer to them. If it hit either of them, they would most likely die. They closed their eyes waiting for the pain and waited. Soon they both peeked through their eyelids and saw with shock and awe. Naruto stood facing them, his hands were perfectly horizontal, blocking the blow for them. Naruto's eyes were facing towards the ground, so you couldn't see them. Saizo looked pissed off and slightly scared that Naruto was able to stop his punch. Naruto chuckled. Didn't you hear what I said to you guys? I told you I will protect you with my life. It's a promise. Naruto looked at them and they saw his eyes were slitted blue and he was grinning. His already pointed and long canines were even pointier and longer. Now they looked like fangs. Saizo drew his hand back. And Naruto got scarily serious. He pointed at Saizo. This fight is between you and me, team. Saizo chuckled and said, that's only what I would wish for, Uzumaki. Once again Saizo threw a punch, but Naruto jumped over it. Saizo looked up at the blonde-haired boy and instead was met with a foot in his face. Saizo tumbled to the ground in a heap. Naruto landed gracefully, but then his face contorted in pain. He started to hop around on one foot, holding the one he just kicked Saizo with. Ouch, what is he made out of? Rock. Saizo got up again, and this time threw a punch. Naruto didn't have time to dodge, so he tried lessening the blow, but that still didn't help much. Ack. Naruto. Mocha and Tsukyun cried as he was hit into the ground. A small crater was there and in the middle of the dust and smoke, Naruto was standing barely. He looked at Saizo angrily and spit out a tiny bit of blood. Naruto wiped his mouth. He growled at Saizo. Okay team, it's now time to get serious. Naruto started to do hand seals fast. Mocha, Tsukyun and Saizo all looked interested and confused by what he was doing. Soon when Naruto was done, he spread his legs shoulder width apart. 45-degree bend in each one. He grabbed his right hand which he held low by his knees and somewhat in front of him. Naruto grinned. Compliments to Kakashi-sensei for teaching me this technique. After he said that, blue lightning started to form in his hand, it also started to circle around his body. The lightning gave off an eerie blue glow, showing Naruto's face in a different and very intimidating light. Soon the lightning started to take form in Naruto's right hand, creating a sound that was somewhat familiar to the other three monsters, -1. Mocha looked around confusedly, why is that sound familiar? Tsukyun squinted his eyes in confusion and realization, birds. And lots of them. Naruto grinned darkly at Saizo but was thinking, where should I hit him? Maybe his head. All of a sudden Naruto disappeared and reappeared right behind Saizo's head, his arm was cocked back ready to strike him. Saizo heard the sound and instead of turning around just decided to lean to the side to dodge. But alas, the strange huge monster was too slow. Naruto struck Saizo in the neck, letting the air around them be in an explosion of blood. Everyone there heard the strange word Naruto was able to shout before he destroyed Saizo's neck. Chidori. The blood fell down upon Saizo and Naruto, showering them in the red juice. Saizo gave a deafening scream of pain. The gurgling sound in his voice suggested that there was blood in his mouth too. Naruto dangled from Saizo's body trying to get his arm free of the neck. Saizo in extreme rage and pain grabbed Naruto and threw him. But with Naruto's arm still stuck in Saizo's neck, the only way to get him off him was to break Naruto's arm at the elbow. A sickening pop, then a crack was heard, sort of like when a tree branch breaks off the tree, only imagine it with a wetter sound. It was more of a splack than a crack. Naruto screamed in pain and was thrown into the same tree he was earlier on the fight. Naruto lay there fighting tears and curses that would defiantly stream out of his mouth. Trying to stay conscious from the pain was difficult already. For Naruto knew, the place on the human body with the most nerves in a place was the groin and the elbows and kneecaps. Breaking those limits on you would make any normal person pass out almost instantly, but Naruto was very different. Naruto-kun. Mocha shouted through her dazed phase. Mocha and Tsukyun looked disgusted. Tsukyun was green from the amount of blood and the sound of Naruto breaking his elbow. Mocha was having a hard time concentrating because the smell of blood was so strong. Tsukyun knew he and Mocha needed to do something fast. He turned to Mocha and looked in her eye. Above Saizo's line of curses and screaming, Mocha hardly heard him, but was glad she did. Mocha, show me the Rosario. Mocha lifted her neck up and Tsukyun grabbed the Rosario and ripped it off with one mighty pull. A bright light was seen and a devilish pink red glowed off Mocha. She disappeared in the light and Saizo's attention was finally on her. Naruto watched in extreme pain as the transformation occurred. Naruto and Tsukyun remembered her words, when I take off this Rosario I get really scary. Naruto watched as her hands turned into pale claws. Her breast size got drastically bigger, she gained more junk in the trunk, but it was still beautifully round. Her teeth turned into fangs, and from where Naruto saw her hair had turned silver too. Saizo looked fearfully at this transformed Mocha. What is this? This radiating power? It's not her anymore. It's something else. Mocha slowly opened her eyes, and everyone saw the same thing as the next guy there. Mocha's eyes were blood red and were slitted just like Naruto's foxy eyes were. Naruto, Tsukyun, and Saizo all had the same thoughts, her eyes are red. Are these the eyes of a vampire? However, they all had different thoughts after that. Tsukyun's was this is the vampire. Saizo thought in total fear, red eyes and unearthly power. So the legends are true. The most fearsome of monsters, the vampire. Naruto however had an entirely different reaction to the situation, so this is the vampire, it's like an older Mocha, but way more beautiful. Vampire Mocha was giving Saizo a sexy look, almost sarcastically. What's the matter, little boy? I thought you wanted to snuggle. So why not show us how strong you are? And she held out her hand to Saizo, an evil glint in her eyes. Gimme a hug. Saizo reached out to grab the new Mocha with pure hatred and anger. Tsukyun looked shocked and yelled out to her, "No. Mocha." Mocha didn't move as he grabbed her. Everyone was shocked that she didn't even try to move or duck or anything at all. But what she said next was simply amazing. Is that all you've got? Naruto watched as she moved at his kind of speeds with his weights on and appeared in front of Saizo's face, ready to give him a brutal kick. She gave him a scary look and said with venom, "Know your place." She gave Saizo a kick that rocked his world forever. He went crashing through several trees and finally rolled on the ground until he stopped. Mocha put her hand out in front of her, almost as if she was challenging him to get up again. She smirked sexily. Typical monster. All size. I said, know your place. Naruto watched in interest as she walked towards him and knelt down to be eye level to Naruto. She touched his elbow and Naruto flinched in pain. She then smirked coldly back at his face. You are very strong for a human, Naruto. Are you afraid of me? Naruto looked at Vampire Mocha and said in a strong voice, what's the matter with you? I can't be afraid of a friend. The Vampire Mocha smirked and leaned in close to Naruto. Oh, so dangerously close. She whispered in his ear. That's good. I won't want you to be afraid of me. You are very interesting, Uzumaki Naruto. And your blood tastes so delicious. Stay well, Naruto. The other Mocha won't want you to go anywhere. Naruto watched as she pulled away. He could swear he felt her lick his neck as she spoke. He narrowed her eyes as she got up and left, walking over to Tsukyun. She snatched the Rosario from Tsukyun. She turned towards him and smirked. Don't be so jittery. It's been a while since I've been awakened. I'm still drowsy. But I won't hurt you because you seem to be a precious friend to the real me. And to that delectable boy over there. Till we meet again. You two just keep babysitting Mocha-K. Naruto watched as Vampire Mocha put back on the Rosario and fall into Tsukyun's arms. Naruto couldn't help but smile, then he flinched as the pain of his body finally decided to make itself known to him. Apparently, he took a big beating the same as always. Naruto looked over at the two and decided now was the best time just to go to sleep. Yeah, sleep is good. The bus driver watched from the cliff where the bus was located at. He was smoking again and said in an interested voice, you two are awfully young for this place. Especially you, Tsukyun. I have a feeling that Naruto-kun will be able to keep up with this school. But good luck to the two of you now. You are going to need it. 11111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111 Tsukyun was standing outside with Naruto, who had bandaged wrapped around for the slightly fractured left leg when he kicked Saizo in the face. His right arm was bandaged and in a sling. Tsukyun had a simple band-aid on his right eyebrow. Nothing too serious. They both were looking at Tsukyun's withdrawal letter. Naruto smiled at Tsukyun and the brunette nodded. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes and mentally counted to 3 in his head. Naruto watched as he did this, but then something hugged his back fiercely, causing pain to go up his entire right arm. Naruto's eyes widened comically as he yelped very loudly. Morning, Naruto. Good to see you feeling better. She kissed Naruto on the cheek, but he didn't notice as he tried to say something back, but all that came out of his mouth was, Jaya. Mocha blinked, then blushed beet red and jumped off him. Oops. I'm sorry, Naruto. She scratched her cheek in embarrassment. Naruto smiled at her. It's okay, Mocha-chan. She smiled, then turned to Tsukyun to say the same thing, but saw that he had a ripped piece of paper in his hands. Comical tears were flowing down his face. Mocha looked sheepish. Naruto laughed at Tsukyun, as did Mocha. Soon Tsukyun started to join in laughing, all the while Naruto thought in his head. And so my truly bizarre student life begins. Mocha turned towards Naruto and fidgeted. Naruto th thanks FF for Naruto turned towards her and saw her dangerously close to his face. His sweat dropped. Mocha blushed, geez. I get so nervous around you. Naruto blinked in surprise, really? But I've found someone special here that I won't find anywhere else. Mocha bit his neck, yeah. Cause I keep wanting to suck your blood. Naruto's sweat dropped, see what I mean? Tsukyun pulled Mocha off Naruto. Mocha-san, I think Naruto-san needs all the blood he can get right now. But I also have Tsukyun, the only other human in this school, and a very good friend of mine. Naruto's eyebrow twitched as Mocha looked sheepish. Tsukyun. How many times do I have to tell you? Just call me Naruto or I will beat you to a pulp. Tsukyun flinched. Gomen, Naruto-san. I am mean, Naruto. Naruto smirked in victory and laughed again, this time the other two joining in with him. But maybe being away from home for a while will do me some good and these two crackheads also. 1111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111 Please read this part, it's all very important. If you have questions, comments, or even angry phrases, put it in the review thingy, and if these are some of your questions down here, please don't ask me something so stupid when you could just read this. Haha. My first book. I am so amazing. A good chapter, nah. Well, I'll see you idiots later. But just to clarify things, Naruto is obviously stronger than the manga one. He doesn't need a clone to make an original Rasengan, but he does need one for the Fuma. Rasen Shuriken. S fast, and because Hess fast, like really fast, insanely fast. Kakashi was able to finally teach him Chidori. Because in order to learn the Chidori you have to be fast for it to work. And finally. Him trying to keep Naruto the same Naruto, only during the battle Naruto will be serious Naruto. Got it. He could. But just for those idiots out there who don't know their manga. The entire reason why Mocha falls infatuated with Tsukyun is because he was the first person she sucked blood from. A girl always remembers her first. And since Naruto was her first, she pays special attention to him. Then after the battle she basically falls in love with Naruto, but yet not quite there. Suuo. Too bad Tsukyun. They are cool but not as awesome as Naruto. Naruto was walking down a dirt road with Tsukyun getting ready to go to his first morning class. They were talking about little nothings. Tsukyun smiled at Naruto, who was laughing at his own joke. Tsukyun didn't mind letting Naruto do the talking, for that gave him time to thinking. If he just laughed once in a while, Naruto won't know the difference. Tsukyun looked on ahead as his thoughts drifted again. This academy exists in a secret, sacred world far away from any humans. The private Yokai Academy is a school for monsters to attend. Tsukyun looked up as Naruto continued to talk still. At this academy all the students must follow the school rule that they must live in human form, but their true forms are all monsters. Tsukyun smiled nervously ahead, hearing an imaginary theme song in his head as he thought, yes, but the two walking next to each other are the only exceptions to this rule. The one and only humans of Yokai Academy. Tsukyun's sweat dropped. He'll surely be killed if anyone finds out that I'm human. I don't know what Naruto-san thinks. Naruto kept walking and talking about ramen or something. His hands were resting behind his head. In the short time Tsukyun knew Naruto, he noticed that touching the back of his head or neck seemed to be the most natural thing Naruto does. Naruto stopped walking and talking, turning around. Tsukyun looked at Naruto, but then heard the crowd of boys talking. Hey, look. It's Mocha-san. Ooh. She looks as stunning as ever. It's like she's surrounded by light. She's so dazzling. Akashiya Mocha. She's obviously the academy's #1 beauty. Tsukyun waved shyly at Mocha. Mocha-san. Naruto grinned, his hands still behind his head, and nodded at her. Aheo, Mocha-chan. Mocha turned to whoever said her name and saw Naruto and Tsukyun. Mocha's face instantly brightened up and she jumped on Naruto, yelling morning, Naruto. Her arms wrapped around his neck as they fell to the ground in a heap. Naruto groaned in slight discomfort. Mocha instantly hopped off Naruto and scratched her cheek, sheepishly. Oops. Sorry Naruto. Naruto got up off the ground and grinned at her, waving it off. No need, Mocha-chan. Mocha turned to Tsukyun and hugged him, a little awkwardly, and said good morning to him. Naruto heard all the boys yelling absurd things and grinned foxily, sending many of the females in the area swooning. Beware. There's a guy with Mocha-san. What? Those two again? What kind of relationship does that blonde-haired guy have with Mocha anyway? Hess not getting away with this. I'm gonna beat him to death. In the shadows of the crowd, Purple Eyes watched the three walk away, with Mocha clinging on Naruto's arm. The figure growled and turned away. The three of them were sitting on stair steps to an entrance of the school. Naruto was in the middle, looking up at the sky. Tsukyun was staring at Mocha, and Mocha was staring at Naruto. Mocha smiled at the two. It must be lonely being the only two humans at our school, but I'll be there for you. If there is anything I can do, just let me know, K. Tsukyun blushed, Mocha-san. Naruto grinned at her, thanks for that Mocha-chan. But you don't really need to, I guess. Mocha smiled at Naruto, looking in his eyes, of course I do. Besides, Mocha leaned in very close to Naruto, who blushed and looked confused. Whenever I'm with you, I just want to suck your blood. Mocha bit Naruto's neck, who was taken aback by the action. Tsukyun squealed disgusted, but still looked at Naruto in jealousy. Naruto jumped up and held his neck, trying to stay a safe distance away from Mocha. Mocha just stood there happily. She smiled at Naruto, sorry. It's just that, your aroma was just so good that I suddenly. Naruto could have sworn he heard her say, thanks for the treat. Naruto groaned, Mocha still smiled at him. Your blood really is the yummiest, Naruto. I think I'm going to get addicted to you, Naruto. Naruto's eye twitched fearfully, he turned slowly, then took off in a run, dragging Tsukyun with him, but I'm not your food. Tsukyun waved to Mocha as he was dragged away by the fleeing blonde-haired boy. Mocha looked at them in confusion and a little bit of hurt. Naruto and Tsukyun walked into a clearing. Naruto, who was slightly dizzy from the blood loss, looked at Tsukyun in wonder. Now if only I can get a normal conversation out of her. Then a thought struck Tsukyun. He looked at the panicky Naruto. What if she's just hanging out with us because we have tasty blood? Naruto whirled around and gave Tsukyun the most deadpan's look ever, he then proceeded to freak out. Naruto ran around in circles. What? Do you really think that, but how could that be? I think it's wrong. She likes us. Naruto grabbed Tsukyun's shoulders and looked him in the eyes. You're wrong, Tsukyun. We are friends. She just happens to think him and all she can eat buffet. Naruto stopped to catch his breath. Then he blinked. He looked at Tsukyun suspiciously. What do you mean we have tasty blood? She's only drank mine. Tsukyun blinked, confused. Well, we're both humans, right? So, we should have the same type of taste unless you do drugs or something. Naruto glared at him. Me? No, never. Someone as awesome as me doesn't need drugs to fuck with him. You do drugs, Tsukyun. You seem like the type. Tsukyun blanched. I would never. Do you have any idea what drugs do to you? Steroids make you muscular. You should take some steroids, Tsukyun-kun. You need more muscle, Naruto pointed out. This time Tsukyun glared. Me? What about you? You're just as small. Naruto crossed his arms over his chest and huffed. I'm this skinny because I never built my muscles to be big, I built them to be lean and tight so that I can be faster. Tsukyun sighed, it was pointless trying to argue with this guy. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go check on Moka-san. He'll see you later, Naruto-san. Naruto yelled comically at him, it's Naruto. Naruto watched him go, then when Tsukyun was out of sight he sighed and put his hands behind his head. As someone? Naruto heard the voice and looked around, trying to find the source. He started to walk in the direction of where he thought he heard the voice come from. Naruto walked around a tree and saw a girl kneeling there holding her stomach, a girl with big breasts. Naruto gulped. The girl looked at him. Please help me, please lend me a hand. I just suddenly started feeling ill. Naruto went to her and kneeled down, putting his hands on her shoulders. He looked at her worriedly. Can you stand up? Let's go to the school infirmary. Naruto helped the girl up, but then she collapsed in his arms. Naruto could feel her breasts pushing into his chest. She sighed as they walked. Thank you so much, I've always had a weak body, my chest. My chest just starts hurting all of a sudden. She leaned even closer to Naruto, who froze with shock, and said, just hold me tight like this. Naruto flinched and blushed beet red as he felt her mounds pressed into him. He closed his eyes trying to concentrate on something other than that, remembering all the painful beatings Sakura gave him, but Naruto was a guy, and even the most unemotional, self-controlled man would have a very difficult time not noticing a very large pair of boobs pressed against his chest. The girl turned towards him. Hey, look into my eyes, Naruto-kun. Naruto looked and saw one of the sexiest looks ever that she was giving him. Kurono Kurumu. Please be a good friend to me, okay? Naruto couldn't help but be entranced by her eyes, they were the most beautiful things he has ever seen, he just couldn't look away. Naruto felt his arms wrap around Kurumu almost protectively, but he just couldn't figure out why. Kurumu looked shocked as Naruto hugged her so aggressively. Yue. Kaya. What are you doing? She said playfully. Naruto himself couldn't help but think, what the hell am I doing? I am loyal to Sakura-chan. Or Moka-chan. Moka stepped up and watched as Naruto pretty much carried Kurumu away, a concerned look on her face. She whispered to herself, no Naruto. Moka heard a voice behind her, haha, aren't you the popular one? Be careful of women, Naruto-kun. Moka whirled around to the creepy voice in shock, fear and slight creeped outness. She saw the bus driver that Naruto seemed to know and asked, who are you? Bus driver-san chuckled creepily, just your average passerby, and then chuckled again creepily again. Moka leaned against a wall inside one of the school's hallways. She was thinking quite intensely about Naruto. No, what is that girl? What is she to Naruto? She sighed and said out loud to herself, they really looked like lovers, didn't they? Almost as if she was expecting someone to answer her question for her, all over each other like that. What's wrong with me? Why am I taking such a shock? I wonder. Moka thought back to when Naruto yelled at her about not being her food. She thought to herself, I'm so bad, why is it that whenever I'm with Naruto, I just want to suck his blood, I don't know myself. Moka jerked out of her dream when she heard a voice from seemingly nowhere, hey stop. This isn't the time to feel down. You're being targeted. Moka looked around confused, huh? Hey. What's that? What's there? Her thoughts were interrupted by a voice above her, you are a vampire, right? Moka turned towards the source and saw none other than Kurumu, giving her a confident small smile. Kurumu giggled to herself quietly, that's at least what the rumors say, Akashi Moka-san. Kurumu hopped down from her perch and landed gracefully on the floor, but not without the wind blowing her skimpy, short skirt, giving many boys, and some girls, a nice view of her underwear. Moka looked at her, undeceived. You are the one with Naruto earlier. Moka heard several males in the crowd that gathered whisper, quite loudly, behind them. Wow, what a beauty. Did you see that? Did you just see that? Chest tiny but her boobs are huge. Who is she? This girl is incredibly cute too. Who knew there was a girl besides Mocha-san like this? Kurumu got up close to Mocha and whispered in her ear, I am the great succubus, Kurono Kurumu. Mocha blinked, confused. Kurumu continued, I have come to defeat you. Mocha looked shocked and confused, wait, isn't it against school rules to give away your true form? Kurumu ignored her question and Mocha couldn't help but feel slightly inferior, I can't stand it anymore. Kurumu said angrily as she pointed at Mocha, you're the biggest eyesore in the way of my great plan. Mocha tilted her head still confused, plan. Kurumu chuckled almost like she was really tired, yes, my plan is to make every male of the student body at this academy completely become my slave. The YOKAI Academy harem transformation plan. Mocha's mouth dropped as she gave Kurumu the oddest look ever and looked almost appalled that a girl would even do that, but she stayed quiet. Kurumu still ignored her and continued, my plan was perfect. I should have had every guy at the academy be my slave right from the start. However. Once again, Kurumu got very close to Mocha's face, to the point where Mocha had to bend backwards so they wouldn't touch. Kurumu raised her voice to almost a yelling, Akashiya Mocha. The guys at this academy are dreaming about you rather than me. I'm not letting you get away with this. I won't lose in a battle of feminine charm. The guys however looked at the two female goddesses with shocked expressions, they're arguing, it looks like a heated argument. Kurumu smirked, almost like she won a very hard battle, that's why I've decided to prove I can defeat you, I'll show you that I'm better than you by stealing Uzumaki Naruto from you. Mocha decided now was the time to speak up, with a look of complete pleading she said, stop. Wait. Naruto doesn't have anything to do with this. Kurumu chuckled, I knew it from the moment we were close together, he has a really good scent like a human. Mocha bit her lip, she didn't want Kurumu to find out, however Kurumu continued on with her rambled speech, is his blood delicious? You're using Naruto-kun as food, aren't you? Kurumu laughed, almost evilly, your face when he is taken from you will be a sight to see. Mocha tried to defend herself, obliged a bit lamely, and no, I'm not using him. She was interrupted by a shout, Mocha-san. Both Kurumu and Mocha turned to the source of the voice and saw Naruto walking lazily next to Tsukyun, who was waving at Mocha. Tsukyun looked like he was dragging Naruto by the arm, who looked embarrassed and slightly peeved. Tsukyun turned to Naruto and whispered harshly, do it, Naruto-san. Naruto growled back, how many times have I told you not to call me that? Tsukyun got into Naruto's face, I'll keep calling that until you do as I told you. Naruto grumbled under his breath, but that really isn't my type of thing, you know. Tsukyun turned Naruto around and gave him a slight push so that he was in front of Mocha. He scratched his cheek awkwardly and blushed in slight anger. Mocha-chan, there is something I want to apologize for. Naruto almost had to strangle himself for saying those words. He took a deep breath and said, sorry. He smacked his face as Hess never liked apologizing for anything. He does say sorry to people, but usually Hess so very sarcastic about it. Before he could continue his sad attempt at saying sorry to Mocha, he was hugged quite lovingly by the girl from earlier, Kurumu. Ooh. It's Naruto-kun. Tsukyun's, Naruto's, Mocha's and the whole crowd in the hallway had their mouths hanging on the floor. Naruto looked scared, confused, shocked, and a little bit relieved that he didn't have to continue with his embarrassment of apologizing to anyone. Mocha could feel her vein throbbing in her head as Tsukyun looked on in shock and jealousy as yet another beautiful girl hugged him. Kurumu giggled as she rubbed her breasts on Naruto's chest, who was blushing beet red thinking things that should not be said ever. Kurumu smiled, thanks so much for earlier, Naruto-kun. Purposely dragging out her kuns. Naruto waved his arms around desperately, why are you here, Kurumu-chan? Wait. I came here to apologize. He shivered when he said that to Mocha-chan. You could practically see the darkness of anger rolling off Mocha in waves. If one listened hard, you could hear her growling in rage. Naruto's face reeled back in shock as this Mocha now looked dangerously like a pissed off Sakura as anger waves, it's scary business I tell you, seeped out of her skin and she gave Naruto the darkest look ever. What's with you? You're so worried about someone yet you make such a happy face. Naruto felt his whole body pale if it was possible, now he was scared for his life. If Mocha was anything at all like Sakura, Naruto will be beat within an inch of his life very soon. He closed his eyes in a flinch of fear. But then she did something completely un-Sakura-ish. She fought with her words. Mocha looked at Naruto in desperation, you're being tricked, Naruto. Hurry up and get that girl off you. That Kurumu isn't really your friend. Naruto decided to use the most intelligent reply at this time. Huh? Tsukyun also looked highly confused to the situation at hand. Kurumu fell in Naruto's arms again, how awful. How can you say such things? She put the back of her hand on her forehead, dramatically. I am getting dizzy again, we've got to go to the infirmary. Naruto looked very confused and didn't understand a thing that was going on. I mean, how could he? He's a guy. He shouldn't be able to understand the wonders of a woman's mind. Her speech for that matter. Naruto looked down at her and saw that she was looking at him again and made the mistake of looking into her eyes. He heard her whisper, "Charm." Naruto felt his body give away to whatever it was that it gave away to again and growled, "What's going on? It's happening again. I can't let his happen." Naruto tried to fight it with all his might, even going as far as to add chakra to his body, trying to break it like a jinjutsu. But it didn't work. Mocha looked at Naruto again. Please believe me Naruto, this girl is going to eat you." Naruto felt his body react and look at Mocha with an uninterested look. "Oh really?" He felt himself saying to Mocha, "Aren't you the one who's sucking my blood?" Mocha looked like she just got punched in the face. Disbelief, shock, confusion, and hurt were all present on her face. Soon, tears welled up in her eyes. And Naruto finally got back in control of his body. He reached out to her, but she turned away and ran down the hallway, crying loudly. Sukyun looked at Naruto, anger in his eyes. How could Naruto say that about Mocha-san? Sukyun gave Naruto a dirty look and ran after Mocha, trying to calm her down. Naruto stared in disbelief as they left him. How could he have said anything at all like that to Mocha-chan? Naruto felt so bad, he looked down at Kurumu and thought to himself as he took her to the infirmary, is this all her doing? Thanks for watching.